Hey there guys, and welcome back. On this week's show, I'm going to show you how to do flocking. So what is flocking anyway? Well, flocking, suede text, whatever you want to call it, it's basically an alternative to using felt in your projects. Whether you're lining a box or whether you're trying to put a softer edge on, say, a little tool case or whatever to protect the tool, flocking is a great way to go about doing that. But there's a lot of people that are intimidated by it because it comes out with such professional results that, you know, hey, it's got to be hard to do, right? Not at all. Today on the show, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to go about doing it to get the professional results that you want without all the equipment and that crazy kind of setup. So this is all about the flocking, and we're going to start off with what you need to get started. The equipment for flocking is simple, and I mean it's sold in a lot of woodworking stores, and although the initial output of cash might seem to be a lot, it's really only about 30 bucks, and then from there it lasts a long time and it's reusable. So what you're going to need is, of course, the suede text itself. Now I keep mine in an old peanut butter jar and a bag inside, and I do that so that I keep the dust from the shop out of my suede text. The other thing you're going to need, of course, is an applicator, and I kind of liken this to the old, when I was a kid, we used to have these balloon pumps, and you'd put your balloon in a little hole here, you could pump it up, and you'd blow up your balloon. Well, that's kind of what this thing is like, and this is what applies the suede text, a very simple little unit. You're also going to need a paintbrush to apply the adhesive, and the adhesive is, it's color-coded to match whatever color suede that you're using, and in this particular case I've written on the top of this is blue, and you know what, it's just like paint, but it's actually an adhesive for the text. And then you need your item that you're going to be applying this to, and you know, it could be whatever size you want. And then very importantly here guys, very important, is you need a dust mask. I learned the hard way. Let's just say I did it once without the dust mask, and later on that day I ended up with some really colorful Kleenex. So get the dust mask on. Keep this stuff out of your lungs because it does give a very fine dust that comes off of it, and it's important to keep that out of your respiratory system. When it comes to flocking, a big part of your success is preparation. So you want to have everything ready. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to load our flocking applicator, and all you do is you separate your two sections of your tube and take your flocking or your suede text, and you want to fill your tube about half full. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this about half full, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Once you have your tube here filled halfway with the suede text, you can just apply the lid of it. That way if you knock it over or spill it, you're not going to get suede text everywhere. And then just put that off to the side, waiting now to be used. Now what I've got here is I've got a box lid, and this is going to help out when we go to flock, to help catch any stuff that doesn't adhere to our piece. So we've got this, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place a piece of wax paper into the bottom of this box lid. Our next step in the flocking process is to give whatever it is that you're coating with the flocking, you need to seal it. Now, it can be a brush-on varnish, or you know, whatever you like to seal it up, even paint, I mean whatever you want. This has a light coating of spray varnish has been applied to it
before the filming of this video, and the purpose of this is to prevent our piece of wood from soaking in all of that colored adhesive. The last thing we want is to have our adhesive get all soaked into our piece of wood, and then there's nothing left for the flocking to adhere to. So we've got this sealed up, and now our next step, of course, is to apply the adhesive. So when doing flocking, here's the trick, okay? You don't want to apply more adhesive than what you can comfortably work with in 10 to 15 minutes, because that's your window. That's all you've got to work with this stuff. So that's why I was saying earlier that preparation is key. So what we need to do is apply this adhesive and apply the suede text right away. So with that being said, if you have a larger piece, you're going to need to use a roller to apply it. You may need to thin it out to apply it properly and get it right over the entire large piece. Don't do it in sections, guys, because it will show. I promise you it will show. So if you have a larger piece, think ahead and do some preparations, and you won't have any problems whatsoever. So we'll think through the process here. I'm going to put on a pair of gloves because I'm one of these guys that even if I look at a finish, I get it all over my hands. So what we're going to need to do is apply the text or the adhesive onto our piece. So for that we have our brush. We're going to, as soon as that adhesive is applied, we need to get the jar of adhesive away from the area and get it over here and sealed. So we're going to need a little rubber mallet, which I have off to the side here for sealing this can of adhesive once we're done. And we have our flocker ready to go, and we have our mask. So just so we're not wasting time with trying to fumble with our mask and stuff, we're going to go ahead and get our mask on, and I'm going to apply this adhesive, flock it, and show you how long exactly this takes. It's a pretty quick process. So let's get at her. First things first, get our mask on.
Just like that. Now we need to apply the adhesive. So just a thin coat. Remember, you've got 10-minute working window. So just get it on there and get it done. Now you want to make sure that you've got an even coating, because if not, the suede won't stick. And there we go. Nice even coating of the adhesive. Get the lid out of the way. Seal it up. Now comes the good part. At a 45-degree angle, start pumping the flocker. Don't be shy. Got a little piece of gunk in there. Take that out. Don't be shy with this stuff, boys. Get this back part. And just like that, you're done for now. Okay. Just gonna get these gloves off.
And get this mask off. It's that simple. It's that done. You're kind of finished for now, but there's one more little thing that we need to do. And we need to be patient now and let this sit for 10 to 15 hours. And the reason for that is this all has to dry. And I know there is a ton of flocking everywhere. I'm going to show you that in just a bit. But that's okay, it's reusable. You can go ahead and take that out later on and put it back into your container and reuse it on another project. So it's not wasted. That's why I hope you could hear me through the mask earlier, but I was saying don't be shy with it. Just plaster this stuff on because you can reuse it later on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to leave this for 10 to 15 hours, and then tomorrow I'm going to come back and show you the end result of this particular piece. And I think you'll be surprised at exactly how good it looks. So give me a minute and we'll see you tomorrow. Alright, and we're back. It's actually closer to 24 hours since I left the piece, but it's dry now, and now what we need to do is go through the process of basically cleaning it up. And in order to do that, all you really need is just an old little paintbrush kind of thing, and you just brush off all of the excess or loose flocking particles that are on the piece. So I'm going to show you how to do that, but once again, don't forget your respirator or your dust mask.
So we have the piece here. And you just want to brush off all of the excess that's on there.
Let me just show you this here. I don't know if you can see that, but that looks really good. That looks great. It's a great coating. It looks good, and it's ready to put in your display or wherever you need it. It looks great. And don't forget now, all of this stuff that's here, you don't want to throw this out. This here, get your container, bring it over to your work area, and just put it right back in your container. Just like that. Right back in there, ready to use on your next project. And there you have it. Flocking. Easy to do, gives you great results, looks very professional. This here is for the inside of a display case that we'll be featuring in a future show. Don't be intimidated by this stuff, guys. It gives great results, very professional looking, and it can really give your projects, whether it be your boxes or what have you, a real extra look that you might be looking for. Don't forget, sealing the wood is important. If you're doing something on glass or plexi, you don't have to seal it, obviously, because it's not going to soak up that adhesive. But you may need to rough it up a little bit with some sandpaper. Same thing with if you seal your wood with a high gloss finish, you may need to just rough it up just a little bit. Doesn't need to be a lot. Some 220 grit, a quick run over it to rough it up a bit and give something for the adhesive to bite into. Guys, I hope this video has helped you. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'm going to see you next week with yet another woodworking video.